Shotgun with Charlie.
Riding shotgun refers to the practice of sitting next to the driver in a moving vehicle. The term riding shotgun came around after the time of the stagecoach, when somebody used to sit next to the driver holding a shotgun, in case they ran into bandits. My name is Charlie Cook, and I drive a lot. I like to talk to people while I'm driving, so I interview people in my car while I'm driving. Welcome to Riding Shotgun with Charlie.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of Riding Shotgun with Charlie. Today we are in Edison, New Jersey, and I have pound for pound the busiest gun instructor in not just New Jersey. I'm going to say the busiest instructor anywhere. I have with me Tony Simon from, I'm not going to get all this, from the Diversity Shoot, from Simon Says Train, from the Second Amendment is for Everyone, from the Second Amendment is for Everyone podcast. Anything else?
Yeah, the Minuteman Challenge.
Oh, the Minuteman Challenge. I forgot that. You're also on with Rob Morris on the Self-Defense Gun Stories, and you do a boatload of stuff with Anthony Calandro at the Gun for Hire range. He's a little tied up. Ugh! This is what happens when you get in trouble. You can't hang out with cool people when they come to town. All right, so anyway, we're here to talk with Tony Simon and interview Tony Simon for Riding Shotgun with Charlie as we drive around the state. Safe might be a good word. As we drive around New Jersey. Look at this truck, holy crap. Isn't there a height requirement?
Nice.
Isn't that too high?
Nope.
All right, well, let's go. We're on a journey here in Jersey. So Tony, you've got a ton of stuff going. How did you start out, how did you become a gun guy?
I've been a gun guy since birth. I really have. I grew up with firearms. It's just what we had. It was a tool. It was also entertainment. You know, the family came over for a family holiday. Out comes the guns. You go out plinking, you shoot targets, you introduce the kids to guns. And that's how I was introduced to firearms. Now, I'm from rural Virginia, Halifax County. Halifax in the house. And nobody's gonna know. But
Halifax.
It's a hunting area. First day of school, first day of hunting season, school was empty. That kind of place.
Gotcha.
I was on the rifle team in school for ROTC, or junior ROTC.
Oh, cool.
So I shot competitively there. I joined the Marine Corps. Didn't shoot any more or any less than any other Marine. You know, you qualify.
Right.
But I've always been into firearms, reading the magazines, reading old school Soldier of Fortune magazines.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm talking as a child.
Are they honking at me?
No, who knows?
All right.
This is Jersey.
I'm not in a turn lane, so.
It's Jersey. It's its own language. But
right, maybe I'm a little too high.
I've always been there. And I moved to Jersey, and I just remember that phone call. Hi, I'm coming to Jersey, because this was pre-internet access for the most part.
Right.
This was 93.
For you young folks, when everything was in black and white.
Yeah. Right after the dinosaurs roamed the earth, I called on a phone, and I called every state between Virginia and New Jersey, going, hi, I'm coming through your state,
oh my
and
gosh.
I have a handgun. How do I transport through your state?
Right.
And every state all the way through Jersey in 93 it's in the car, secured.
Right.
Virginia can be loaded on the seat beside you as long as you don't reach for it if a cop pulls you over. I mean, that's what I was told, because I called the state police station.
Gotcha.
The state police number. I got to Jersey, and the lady said the gun has to be locked in the trunk and the ammo has to be locked separately. And I started laughing, and she said, what's funny? And I was like, oh, you're serious? I did not know. So it was stupid, but I came here anyway.
Right.
Years went on, and I wasn't really into the shooting like I was before, because they had so many obstacles with the firearms ID card.
Right.
To get a firearms ID card, you need two people as references.
Yeah.
Well, I knew no one.
Gotcha.
So I didn't have anyone to put down as a reference. Just keep going straight. We just rolling.
We got to do something about the beepy ones.
I have to put the seatbelt up. I have to lock the seatbelt up.
All right.
But yeah, that was the case. I came up here and it was impossible.
Impossible.
I didn't get into it until I met my friend Sean Fisher from Black Bag Resources.
Awesome.
He also hosted the New Jersey Second Amendment Foundation.
Yep. New Jersey SafeCon.
New Jersey SafeCon, I'm sorry. He hosted that.
He's got a funny mustache, doesn't he?
He has a funny face. The mustache just takes your attention off the face. It's a tactic.
All right, so you're here in Jersey, and they're serious about the stupid gun laws.
Yeah, horrible. So here in Jersey, got in a shooting because of my friend Sean.
Sean, yes.
And he became a firearms instructor and said, hey, I need you guys for a class. I need to fill classes. I just got my firearms ID card and purchased a 1022. And of course, being a Marine, I know how to shoot.
Of course.
And so in range 14 down on Fort Dix and set the target up at 25 yards. I figure, hey, I'll zero this little gun and I'll be shooting flies at 100.
Go. Right.
Yeah, it looked like a shotgun pattern.
Man.
I'd competed. I knew about breathing. I knew the fundamentals, but I could not put them all together consistently. And I'm serious. It was pizza box pattern.
Wow.
So
small or large?
It was large pizza. It wasn't even a small pizza.
Wasn't a personal pan.
Yeah, no. It was one of those party pizzas that you bring the kids over for like skating parties.
Right. It's about a yard long.
It was sad. So went to Sean's class on a Sunday. Went back to the range on a Wednesday and shot a 10-round quarter-size group at 25 yards.
Wow.
Applying all the firearms principles.
Right. This is why we have the fundamentals.
Yep. And I was like, I want to teach people that. I want to teach people the fundamentals. So I became a firearms instructor. I went to Anthony Calandro, and he was my TC, NRA.
Very cool.
And I became a firearms instructor through him, all in 1 week. Just nailed it. Every class took them all.
Yeah, he does that once in a while, where you do home fire safety, then pistol and rifle and shotgun.
Just did them all in a week.
Cool.
It was great. It was fun. Met a lot of different people, and the networking is awesome. Because these people are still friends of mine. And that's how I became a firearms instructor. And then, of course, Sandy Hook happened. Now, my whole thing, Sean and I were going to go in together and just start teaching this all across New Jersey, introducing people to firearms, being that first 2 to 3 steps into firearms ownership.
Sure.
The basic class, learning how to use your gun and learning how to use your gun defensively. Nothing about shoulder rolls or clearing houses, just making you a safe, competent gun owner that can go take other classes and not be embarrassed or have the instructor look at you going, who taught you?
Where did you learn this?
Yeah, so we wanted to be those guys. And the legislation that New Jersey proposed the day of Sandy Hook, it seemed, threatened all that. So Sean and I sat down and we formed a letter. We came up with a letter to write legislators explaining reasonably why these things wouldn't work. It wouldn't stop a killer, but all it would do is infringe upon the rights of normal people. And it took a while. It took us, I think, like an hour or 2 hours to phrase it, get it going, making it flow.
Right.
And I was brand new to social media, and I posted it on every page I was on social media, like, hey guys,
what do you think of this?
No, take this. This is what we wrote. Take it, blatantly copy it, copy and paste. We don't care. Become politically active. That's what started me on this path. And then Reverend Ken Blanchard, I was listening to Black Man with a Gun podcast.
Reverend Ken.
Paul Latham, I was listening to him.
Yep, the Polite Society podcast.
Big time.
Yeah.
I think it was called Guns and Politics back then.
Guns and Politics, that's right.
And
that's old school.
Yeah, I mean, I've been listening, right? And these people, I was like, yes, I'm going to be a part of this. There is activism. So I went with Anthony and all the other guys when they went and testified in Trenton, and you can still see it on my YouTube channel. Simon Says Train. You can see my testimony. The reason I bring it up, I don't remember it. I was that nervous. I spoke for 3 minutes and I can't remember a word. But luckily, someone was there.
Someone videoed it, so you get to see how you did.
And I get to see how I did. It was hilarious.
Oh, that's great.
But what I did notice there were 200 pro-gun people and like 11 paid anti-gun people, as always. But nobody was of color. There were very few women, and there were no minorities.
Right.
And I'm like, well, where are we? why aren't we represented here? Is it because some people didn't know what was happening, or they didn't want to be the only person of color? I didn't know.
Right.
So by that point, I'd already participated in a Shaneen Allen protest with New Jersey Second Amendment Society, so I knew Frank Fiamingo. Mm-hmm. So I called him and I was like, hey, Frank, do you have anything to get minorities active in the political side of Second Amendment activism?
Right.
He was like, no. I was like, okay. So I contacted someone else around the group and they told me no. And I'm like, well, what the heck?
Right.
So I'm talking to Sean. I was like, dude, no one has anything just to reach out to minorities and go, hey, the Second Amendment is for you. This is a right they're taking away. You need to participate. He said, well, why don't you start one yourself? I'm like, no. No.
Somebody should do this, but not me.
Yeah, somebody.
Somebody who knows what they're doing. It's got time for this.
People that are people.
People that are people.
People. I'm not a people person, people.
Right. I don't like people that much.
Hey, and he was like, dude, if you want it done, and he used my own words against me. He said, are you going to talk about it or are you going to be about it?
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, that's my saying. He stole it. Using
right. Little verbal jiu-jitsu.
No,
right?
But it's true. If you're going to complain about a problem, solve it. Or work at solving it. So
absolutely.
I was like, okay, fine. What the heck do I do? He said, call Anthony. Anthony's always talking about reaching out to the community. Each one, reach one.
Right.
Call Anthony Calandro at Gun for Hire and see what's up. Boom. Hey, Anthony. Tony Simon. I mean, of course, he knew me right away, which is awesome because he's that kind of person.
He totally is.
And he was like, yeah, what's up? I said, I would like to see if I could have something at your place that we can invite minorities to introduce them to the Second Amendment and Second Amendment advocacy. Mm-hmm. He said, how's Thursday? What?
This Thursday?
I was like, this Thursday? He was like, yeah. I was like, make it next Thursday and let me advertise it on the internet.
See if I can get some friends.
And get some people to come over. He was like, all right, next Thursday, here, 6 o'clock. So I spent the week plastering all over Facebook, Instagram, everything. And the day showed up. Thursday showed. I had like 24 people on the Facebook event saying, hey, it's a great idea. It was February 2015. I called it the African American History Month Diversity Show.
Yeah.
And, oh man, people were saying, hey, can I come even if I'm not African American? I'm like, yes. It's about diversity. It's about inviting everyone, no matter who you are. Come. Yes, we'll be there. 24 people. I'm like, man, this room is going to be packed.
Right, it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be great. 6 o'clock rolls around, it's Sean and I staring at each other.
Where's everybody? What time is it?
Maybe it's traffic. I don't... So, Sean goes, well, let me call the guys I know are coming. Yeah, they're on the way. They're running a little late. All right, where's everyone else? Anthony stops by. Where's everyone? They're not here yet. 7 o'clock comes.
Oh, man, an hour later.
No one's there an hour later. 7:30, the 4 people Sean knows show up.
That's way late.
Yeah, way late. Leave all jokes out about that. So it was 4 guys, really cool, young, African American and Hispanic, and we just started talking. It was just talking about what New Jersey laws actually are.
Yeah.
How you go about getting a pistol purchase permit. How it's impossible for you to get a carry permit in the state. Just different aspects. We brought it up.
Yeah. We
brought in paperwork so they could get their firearms ID cards. We told them about Second Amendment groups like the NRA, like NJ2AS, like CNJFO, ANJRPC. I handed out ANJRPC's newsletter. Anthony is the vice president of ANJRPC, which is the Association of New Jersey Rifle and Pistol Club. So they have a newsletter. I gave it to them, and then we went and shot, and we introduced them to multiple guns. We got some rentals from Anthony, and they had a great time. And that was our first event. And after it was over, I was like, man, 24 people said they were coming on Facebook. That's when I learned Facebook means absolutely nothing.
Totally.
It means nothing. It makes people aware of it, and they say they're interested or they're coming, and they don't show up.
Right.
Anyway, that's what happened, and that was the first event. And Anthony said, don't quit, do it consistently, and people will come. So I did it every other month. We start the season in February, we end in December, and it's fun. I've done it here. I've done it in Garden State Shooting Center in Lakewood, and in 2019 we're going to be in Pennsylvania. We're definitely going to be in at least 2 to 3 locations in Jersey, and I've been talking to some people in Maryland.
Dude, that is awesome. In 3 years?
In 3 years.
That's incredible. I was listening to some of the Second Amendments for Everyone podcasts, and you're selling these out. You're charging $20, and you're maxing at 40 people, and people still want to come and hang out.
Yeah, I did it the first 2 years without charging anything for myself. It was $10. $10 for 4 hours of entertainment, plus I fed you, plus you won raffles, plus we had giveaways from firearms industry stuff. And it got to the point that it was costing me a serious chunk of money.
Sure.
And Anthony was like, why don't you raise... Everyone involved said, why don't you raise the price?
Yeah.
And I'm like, because I want to introduce people to it and have you bring your friends from work and not have it be financially a pain in the butt.
Right.
And they were like, dude, this is Jersey. It's pretty much 4 hours of shooting, eating, and hanging out, and you were charging $10.
That's $2.50 an hour.
That's ridiculous.
That is.
So we charge $20, and the money goes into, it's $150 in pizza alone.
Oh, yeah.
So it comes back in. NRA ILA helps us with the bags and stuff like that, and they donate some prizes, which is awesome.
That is cool.
But each bag, we have 7 of them per event. If the event is maxed out, we have 7 per event. So you have a chance of winning a $100 gift bag for your little ticket.
That's for $20.
For $20 to get in, $5 for ticket.
Yeah.
But it's fun. We want to bring the community together. All we talk about is Second Amendment, period. We don't talk about your favorite team. We don't talk about anything politics, as in Democrats versus Republicans.
Right.
Because I feel right now people are using that as a wedge between people.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
And I'm like, no, this is about how much we have in common. We live in the most highly taxed state there is.
Yep.
We live with the most regulatory firearms laws out there. We need to have our freedom. We need to have the ability to defend ourselves and our homes. And we don't need to be made felons at the drop of a hat, at the whim of the governor.
Governor Free Stuff.
Governor Free Stuff.
Governor Murphy for everybody else.
Yes, he's not even from here. The guy's from Connecticut, right?
Yeah. No, I think he's from Massachusetts.
Whatever, he needs to go back.
Yeah. Well, he's in what, Africa right now or something?
He can stay. He can stay. They need dictators there.
They do. Anyway, without getting into politics.
Okay. I hate it. I really despise politics. I don't like it at all. But I also work as a poll worker. Yeah, make your joke here. Make your joke here.
Poll worker?
But
day shift or night shift?
I'm way too pretty for day. I got that night hotness.
Mercy.
But I work the election polls every year for the last decade.
Wow, that's awesome.
People don't vote.
Well, I voted this past November. I voted, and I live on a short street. There's not a lot of people that live on my street. I'm going to be generous and say 2 other people on my street vote.
It's crazy.
It's ridiculous. And in Massachusetts, all they do is check your name. You have to go up, give them the street name, you confirm your name, and then they give you a ballot, and then you vote, and then you go out, you talk to another group of people, you give them the street name, and your last name, and that's it. There's no checking IDs, but they do ask what your street is and what your name is, but they don't ask for anything else. So I could go in the morning and say I'm me, and I could go in just before they close and say that I'm my neighbor.
Yep. In Jersey, they don't even do that. You walk in the door, you say, I'm blah, 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 and I look it up in the book, and you vote.
That's it.
That's it. But last election that got Governor Free Stuff elected, 70% of the voting population stayed home.
Unbelievable.
So he won with 20% of that vote. So,
Unbelievable.
and running the Second is for Everyone podcast and doing all of that, I've been telling people what Governor Murphy's plan was. You could just go to his website. He said he was signing every anti-gun thing that made it to his desk.
Right, so when he signs it, if he says it, there's a real good chance he's going to do it.
Two things he said: I'm raising taxes and I'm signing all anti-gun legislation.
Oh my God.
What did he do? He came in, raised taxes, and signed every anti-gun.
Signed all the anti-gun stuff, and then he left.
Yeah.
He's been in office for what, 2 months? Not even.
No, he came in office at the beginning of the year. So
Beginning of the year?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, because he signed that legislation in June that everyone's shocked about.
Oh, right. Okay.
That made the internet go crazy on December 10th. Meanwhile, it was signed in June.
Right, yeah. It's I find it discouraging, even in my own home state of Massachusetts. I find it discouraging the people that don't want to do things. I spoke at an event. I think you guys had one down here. It was the 2A Capitol rally in November of 2017. I spoke in Boston, and I shared it on all the stuff that on the Facebook pages that I belong to and that are pro-gun related. And I said, hey, this rally's going on, and it's at 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning or 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning. And they're like, oh, you know what? The Patriots are on in the afternoon. So, first of all, it's the afternoon. Second of all, you don't live 3 hours away. So,
we did one at the beginning of the year that was sponsored by ANJRPC and NRA. It was cold. It was 20 degrees at the War Memorial in Trenton. Freezing.
Yeah, that's cold.
We were out there. It was about 2,000, 2,500 people. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But 4 times as many people on the internet talking about, if you had it on the weekend, we'd be there. If it wasn't so cold.
Yeah.
We had another one when it was warmer. It was 60-something degree day in the springtime on a Monday.
Yeah.
On a weekend.
You know what happens on the weekends? You know what? The kids got baseball.
200 people showed up.
It really is ridiculous that people don't want to do anything. And there were, I talked to people too, like, oh, if it was closer to where I live, if it was closer to this, and if we could just do it from my house, but not know where I live, then I'm up for going.
Yeah, if it's happening in my front yard, I'll come outside.
Right, I'll come out. I'll come out in my I'll come out in my bathrobe. I'll say hi, check it out, and I'll go back in. And
the other thing is, the people that are in groups think their 1-year membership is all that the group needs.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a lot more stuff that goes on.
It's like, and then I hate the NRA contention. Oh, the NRA sucks. The NRA doesn't fight for our rights. The NRA is money grubbing. Okay, what's the state level organization you're in?
Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Is this thing on? Hello, can anyone hear me? Yeah.
Right.
All of a sudden, I think my internet is broken because I get no response.
Yeah, exactly. I actually saw some argument today about something from some of the guys from the Gun Owners Action League in Massachusetts, and they're like, "Hey, listen, the bump stock ban and all this stuff that the Republican governor we have in Massachusetts has signed, it's all in line with what the anti-gun folks want." And they're like, "You guys didn't do anything for us," and they're like, Did you go out and vote? Did you contact your people? Did you do anything? And it's not just, it's nice to send checks, but sending checks doesn't get it done.
Sending checks is great. You can also send to my GoFundMe. Second is for everyone. No, but money's awesome, but participation, that calling, that writing, actual letters scare the snot out of them, because that means you mean something. You wrote something on paper.
You've taken time to sit down and write, put a pen to paper.
You mean that.
Yeah.
But also emails, but really letters, and showing up at rallies, putting leather to the street, and being seen. All of that is important.
Yeah, it totally is.
We've gotten so comfortable, and again, I'm the largest pound-for-pound firearms instructor in America. Believe me, exercise is not on my top 10 things to do when I wake up. But I know we have to be seen, we have to be heard, and we have to be active.
Absolutely.
So I made a Instagram post called Lighten Up Francis, and if you watch Stripes, you get the reference. Right after the December 10th ammo restriction. A lot of people were talking about we need to vote from the rooftops. We need to tar and feather these people and storm the Capitol building. I'm like, hey, lighten up, Francis. 70% of you didn't vote.
Right.
When it comes to Republican versus Democrat, I looked into the primaries to see how many people voted. 1.2 million New Jerseyans are registered Republicans. 200,000 voted in the primary.
So, less than 20%?
Yes. Voted in your primary. That's when your primaries are way more important than people give them credit for.
Sure.
That picks who runs in November. If I have to explain civics to you, that's
right,
how
this
it works.
is sixth grade social studies.
And that's where we're falling down and picking our leaders. We have to step up. It's about gun rights. My shirt says gun control equals racism. This is my rally shirt. This is a shirt I'd like everyone to wear when you go to a rally because the press will take a picture of the Moms Demand with all their matching red shirts and make it look like a flood of Moms Demand. We saw that at NRA in Louisville.
Right.
They manipulated the photos. Well, when you have this right here and it appears on camera, somebody, what does that mean? Well, Google it. Or walk up to the guy with the shirt and ask them what that means. And if they follow me or listen to me, I've explained it, and you can, again, Google it and find out the racist strategy of gun control.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's to do with blacks. First of all, in 1619, the first African slaves were brought to America. 1620, the first gun control law was passed in the colony of Virginia, outlawing blacks to own guns. Gun control was used to control people back then, and it's used to control people now.
Right.
American history is rife with gun control against whoever the victim of the moment was, whether it's Native Americans, whether it's Hispanics, whether it's Irish, whether it's Italians. Gun control was used to control people, and it's still being used to control people. That's what we need to fight against. Freedom is scary, yes. Guns are designed to kill people. Yes.
Sure. So are cars. So is everything else.
A lot of things are dangerous, and everyone uses them safely for the most part.
And responsibly, of course.
Exactly.
We teach our kids how to be safe with scissors and knives. We have driver's education classes so people learn how to drive. We teach sex ed in school for kids.
Yeah, but we won't teach firearm safety, and we won't explain to them how this isn't right. This is a human right of self-defense. Regardless of where you're from, you should be able to protect yourself and your family against anyone that threatens you, including your government. And when you say that, people go, ooh, the government, you can't fight the government. And I'm like, there's fights against the government all around the world.
Right, so let's see. Vietnam, the American military certainly had more superior firepower in Vietnam, and we didn't really win that one.
Not at all. We're still fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan. They're not Al-Qaeda fighter planes providing fighter cover for their people. Right. So no, it's not about that. And I never wanted to get that way in America. It was horrible. It wiped out a generation of Americans when we did have a civil war. And no, I don't want that at all. Plus, again, being the largest pound-for-pound firearms instructor in America, I'm a pretty big target.
Right. You're an easy target. It's going to be the slow end of the group, easy to shoot.
Not a lot of things to cover concealment for me because it has to be big. I suck at playing hide and go seek. No.
Oh, man.
So, I mean, I want our future generations to learn this is for them. I want this newest generation to not only look at it as something you do in video games, and something you can own. Yes, you can own a SCAR. You can own a fill in the blank here.
Right.
Except in Jersey, you can't own an M1 carbine because that's against the law by name. And that all had racial annotations to it, or implications.
All right, I think we're going to make it a legal turn here.
You can, all right, or make an illegal turn.
Right here.
I used to live up the street.
Oh, okay. I don't get these roads, man.
These are brandy new. This is brand new as in 20 years ago. You live here long enough, stuff becomes brand new. Hey, remember right there used to be a church. Burned down.
Used to be. Right.
Burned down 73.
1973.
1973. That's fire.
Oh,
Thanks for letting me run and prattle on. I have this podcast right now. I have Self-Defense Gun Stories tonight with Rob.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm going to be on an AR-15 podcast tonight at 9 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm knocking them out, man.
You are the busiest. Pound, what is the
largest pound for pound?
I always forget the largest pound. The largest part. Largest pound for pound, busiest gun instructor there is. Holy moly, man.
It's funny.
Right. Can we turn here?
Yeah, we can just
We don't wait. See, in Massachusetts, we don't wait.
Oh, in Jersey, you don't have to wait either. Just, rewards versus risk.
Exactly.
First time I drove in New York City, I thought you could make rights on red. You can.
It doesn't go well.
No. I mean, I was able to do it multiple times. The girl beside me was losing her mind. You're going to get pulled over.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, not today. They going to learn. Jersey.
Yeah. Driving styles are different. I'm learning this. Driving styles are different in different parts of the country.
Mm-hmm.
Where in Massachusetts, if you're in a one-lane road and somebody's taking a left, if there's a solid white line on the right side, you're not supposed to go around them, and people do it all the time.
Okay.
And this is completely ridiculous. Totally not gun related. Coming out from my road, I turn onto a main road to go everywhere, and the traffic's coming from the left. The traffic comes from the right. It's a busy road. Somebody from the left will stop and wait for me. They'll wave me out, even though there's traffic coming from the right. And I'm like, I'm not gonna pull out and get into an accident. And then they get mad at me for not pulling in front of them. And I tell my kids this all the time. Both my kids, my son has his driver's license. My daughter's she has her learner permit. I rant about this every time. I'm like, this isn't just how they drive in Massachusetts. It's their politics. The person that's letting me go wants to look good to me, but to the people behind them, he's being a jerk. He's being a jerk to everybody else, but it looks like he's being nice to me. And the people in the back don't even know. They don't even know why. They can't do anything, and they don't know why.
It's funny, because in Jersey, all of these people hate you. All of them, because you exist. you add to the traffic problem, and they treat you like it. They will cut you off either way. You're going too slow, or you're going too fast. But you just hear. You're here. And they hate you.
Oh, man. I love doing 80 in the fast lane. The speed limit's 65 on the Massachusetts Turnpike. I do 80 like everybody else, and people still get up behind you and honk and flash your high beams because you're not going fast enough. Dude, really?
The best was driving the rental that we rented to drive down to NRA in Atlanta. Had New York plates on it. It's a minivan, like a Honda Odyssey.
Right?
Like the minivan-ish of minivans. So I'm driving, I have my wife, and we're a mixed couple. My wife is sane, I'm nuts. So we're driving up, and we're in a cluster of cars. It's like 8 cars, and I'm behind a tractor trailer. We cross over the border into South Carolina, and I see 4 South Carolina state troopers, all parked over on the side. I look at my wife, and I said, we're getting pulled over. She was like, why? You're doing like 62 and a 65.
Right.
I'm like, New York plates.
New York plates, it's a black guy, white girl.
I don't even know. I don't know what they can see from the car, but I just went based on New York plates. The black guy thing didn't really help.
So you pulled over, you waited for the police?
Pretty much. I just boom. I saw them like start up and turn around. I'm like, all right, here we go.
Oh my gosh.
I just boom, got out of the thing, got into the right-hand lane, and the minute he got behind me and hit the lights, boom, right over. I was already doing like 40 by the time he got to me.
Right. You had to get your blinker on.
Cool. He comes over. Hey, folks. Hey, how's it going? Here's the driver's license, registration, everything. Didn't even ask why he pulled me over. Don't want to know. I know. Don't want to know.
Right.
It was the New York plate, I'm assuming.
Right.
And he'd have to be the most honest cop in the world to go, saw a black guy in a Honda Odyssey. It was like, these things do not add up.
Right.
So no, he didn't say that. He was really pleasant, and he said I was tailgating the tractor trailer. My wife looked at me like, hey, what? I was like, yep, no problem. Here's my stuff. Oh, where are you coming from? Oh, I'm coming from the NRA convention annual meeting in Atlanta, Georgia. really? My name is Tony Simon. I'm from the Second is for Everyone.
Nice.
Here's my card. I go down there and I talk to firearms-related companies and firearms companies and try to get them to donate to my event. My event's a Second Amendment workshop in New Jersey that's dedicated to bringing all people into the firearms community. Dude, I went into my elevator speech.
Right.
He took my car. He gave my paper. He never called anything in. He gave a paper. He never left the car.
That's awesome.
His partner came up. Hey, what's the problem? He was like, nothing's the problem. Just talking to Tony here.
Just talking to Tony here.
We finished up. I was like, hey, listen, I'm really hungry, but I don't want to pull off the road and drive around forever. What's something close off the road? I can get a good sandwich or something. He was like, second exit up the road. There's a Sheets. Thanks. That's where I'll be.
That's awesome. That's completely awesome.
My wife was like, how did you do that? I'm like, he doesn't know me, I don't know him.
Right.
Let's take it from there. I'll be an honest human being with him. He asked me, did I buy anything at the NRA show?
Right.
I'm assuming it was a veiled question whether I had a gun in the car.
Sure.
Well, he didn't ask if I had a gun in the car. He asked, did I buy anything at the NRA show? No. Now, if he asked if I had a gun in the car, I would have told him, yes, I have a Glock 19 and a crossbreed holster.
Right.
But you didn't ask that.
Didn't ask that. I would love to do this. I firmly believe the mind is the weapon. Everything else is a tool. And I may have the leg of a bar stool in my car, as well as a couple of small utility knives. Mm-hmm. What do you call them? Those little Swiss Army knives.
Yep.
Those little sorts. Even the cheap generic ones you get for $1 at Target or something. I have a couple of those. I have a Leatherman. I have a Smith & Wesson tactical pin. I have aerosol hairspray and a Bic lighter. I keep a gun underneath my seat. I often have a gun on me, and I have some in the trunk. So I don't have the guts to do this, but I would love to have a cop say, do you have any weapons in the car? I'd like to say, what are you looking for?
Why, want to buy some?
Right.
But yeah, want to buy something to help with those awful hit percentages you cops have? I have something that fires duplex bullets. No, but yeah, dude, you know that, right? The police hit ratio in New York City was 18%.
Wow.
So what they did was change what they called a hit from hitting the bad guy to hitting the car or the house he was in.
Oh my god.
And it rose up to 38%.
That's still not good. I got a phone call a couple years ago from a gentleman, and he completely out of the blue and asked me a bunch of questions, and then he finally came out and he's like, listen, I've been a police officer for 15 years, and I had to do my qualification. I'm not really a gun guy. I learned how to shoot in the academy 15 years ago, and I did my qualification. I didn't do very well. Would you teach me how to shoot? And I'm like, you know what, man? During the school day, I'm a band teacher. I teach kids the fundamentals. I tell everyone I play hot cross buns all day long.
Nice.
You want to learn the fundamentals? I'll teach you the fundamentals. And then I ran into him. It was great. He had a Smith & Wesson M&P 45,
mm-hmm.
and everything's slow and to the left. So I got some A-Zune dummy rounds, and I loaded his magazine, and I put a dummy in live round dummy, and boom.
Yep.
And then I would do two dummy rounds in a row. Boom, crap. And then I only moved a little bit the second time. And I said, here's what you need to do. You need a dry fire.
Mm-hmm.
6 months later, I ran into him at the local liquor store. He's like, hey, are you Charlie Cook? I'm like, oh, man. Yeah, yes. He's like, oh, I was the police officer, and when we did the class 6 months ago, I've been doing dry fire. It's really working out great. I'm like, awesome.
Yeah, dry fire. Dry fire works like magic. And Claude Warner does the 1,000 days of dry fire, so I started following him.
Yeah?
Yeah, so if you miss one day, you have to start that 1,000 days over.
Oh, man.
So yeah, I've missed days all over the place. I'm like a day 2 today. But I dry fire a lot, and it's not long, 15 minutes. I aim at push pins or doorknobs. It's all about my front sight moving, and
right.
I just work it. So we had a social shoot. Simon Says Trains, Black Bag Resources, social shoot. It was a diversity shoot.
Right.
At Fort Dix, we set a 14-inch target at 200 yards. I had my Enfield rifle, 30-06, and I'm standing there, and it's raining like it is today. And Sean goes, "You want to start off, Tony?" "Sure." Loaded 6 rounds, chambered the first one, pow, ting. Who's next? That was 200 yards standing with a 30-06.
Wow.
So the guys all shot, and everybody sat down at the table and hit it, because you need to really be stable to have your breathing and trigger control down.
Yeah.
Then we pulled out pistols, and the new Glock 45.
Yeah.
One of our guys, Jesse, had it. Just started ringing the gong at 200 yards with that 9mm.
Wow.
Everybody did. Everybody picked up and was able to hit, because most of the guys were students of ours or have been hanging out with us long enough to know.
Right.
Fundamentals are fundamentals. Distance only makes a difference when it comes to wind blowing a bullet around.
Right.
Then Adam pulls out his 45 ACP Charter Arms revolver with a 2.5-inch barrel. Yes, we rang it with a 2.5-inch barrel, 45.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
Everybody out there was able to do it. We told them where to aim, trigger pull, ting, and they look at you like you performed a miracle.
Unbelievable.
Fundamentals.
That is totally cool.
It's just funny because, growing up, I used to read stories about a SWAT team guy doing a competition, pulls out the Beretta 92 and hits the target at, 100 yards to win the competition. Or the other one was a SIG P10 used by a mercenary in Africa because as a trainer he couldn't carry a long gun, so he carried that. Attacked by a guerrilla fighter with an AK, and he was able to drop the guy at 100 yards with a 9mm pistol.
Wow.
Now here I am shooting a snub-nosed 45 at 200.
200 yards.
And I'm like,
listen, nobody's writing stories about me, damn it.
But I'm like, fundamentals of fundamentals. I thought it was amazing, and it is, to do a 100-yard pistol shot.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And stop a threat, but it's 100% possible. None of it's impossible.
It's, I carry a J-frame, a J-frame revolver, and people say, well, the bullets don't travel far. Well, the bullets travel until they run out of energy. They run out of energy by hitting something and slowing down, or they run out of energy by gravity sucking it to the earth.
Exactly.
And it's, even though it shoots a 38 bullet, it's got a small gun and a belly gun and all that sort of crap. It goes until it runs out of energy.
Understand your environment. Understand how far your long shot will be. Work on your long shot. Work on your close shot. You never know what your gunfight will be. What if you're at one end of the aisle at Walmart and your wife is at the other, and an active shooter guy comes out and he's making everyone get on their knee and pray or something stupid?
Right.
Can you make that shot from one end of the aisle to the other? And I'm not saying it would happen. I'm just saying, could you? What would you do in that situation? Where's your skill set? A man has to know his limitations, as the great poet Dirty Harry said. You have to know it. What is your limitation? Have you tried it at the range? A lot of people will only shoot what they're good at. Well, how far out do you stop being good?
That's a great question.
Now, my problem was this, because I just took a 2-day Rob Pincus class at the end of November, beginning of December, up at Cobra 1 Tactical. And we fired 800 to 900 rounds over a 2-day period.
Wow.
My issue wasn't precision, my issue was speed. How fast can I shoot? Range 14 has a minimum of 15 yards. Your target has to be away from you.
Okay.
So I never got to work on speed. How fast can I shoot? Well, I had to learn it. And yes, the first day I just hit the gas pedal. I'm not worried. I'm not going to embarrass myself because rounds mean something. But how fast can I shoot? How fast can I pull the trigger, reacquire the sights on target, and pull the trigger again? And I had to learn that. And you see from the first day when I'm like this big and off to the left, low, because of course you're still trying to force that recoil to realize that, all right, I'm messing up because I'm seeing where I'm shooting. To second day, all plastered in the chest, all shots were done at the same cadence. I had to learn that. That's why going and getting instruction is important, because you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And other people can look at you and tell you where you're messing up at.
Sure.
It's just instructional. No one's perfect. I don't care how long your granddaddy taught you to shoot.
Right. There's a lot of that too.
It's too much of it. Oh, I was in the military. What does that mean? They taught me to shoot. Did they teach you to carry in a belly bag or SIG 365?
Right.
Because in the military, I had a 1911. That's how Listen, no matter what Wikipedia tells you, boys and girls, the 1911 was still in active duty in 1989 in the United States Marine Corps. And I was trained on that. And then when I got out, the Corps was the first time I ever picked up the M9 because I was buying my own personal handgun and I wanted to have something for concealed carry.
Yeah.
And again, being the largest pound-for-pound firearms instructor in America, I can carry a full-size gun. I really need to trademark.
He's talking to Mossberg.
So I got the 92. I'm like, wow, this thing is like this big.
Bulky. Yeah.
Yeah. How long is this trip? Jesus. Pow. I'm like, nope. Ejected. I shot maybe a magazine I fired through.
Oh my
I was like,
gosh.
this is horrible. My rounds are all over the place with that double single.
The double single stuff seems to be a lot of work.
All right, I'll fast forward. So boom, tried the 226, same issue. Picked up a 1911, bought it. That was my carry gun.
Gotcha.
I carried it in New Jersey with no permit for 2 years. Why? Because these cops weren't going to be there for me when I'm doing a lockout in Irvington, when I'm doing a lockout in Plainfield,
Right.
when I'm in Camden, when I'm in Jersey City. And it's like, don't go to stupid places, do stupid things for stupid people. Well, I'm a locksmith. I have to go to places where stupid people
People
go.
have already done something stupid.
And I'm hanging out with stupid people because I'm going to get them out of their house. And I can't say, hey, you're stupid, guy. It's 2 o'clock in the morning and you're in Camden.
Right.
You're going to die. So I go help them. So now I'm going into a situation where bad things can happen.
Sure.
So yes, I was armed. What would happen? I was single then, 22, 23. I'm like, I'll go to jail for 4 years, but I'll be alive. It's a risk I was willing to take.
Sure.
Now I'm older. I sound like a bag of bubble wrap when I move. And I'm way too pretty to go to prison. So I'm not carrying illegally. But back then, it was like risk versus rewards. I want to come home at the end of the night.
Sure.
It's just what you have to do with this 10-round magazine ban. I hear a lot of people going, hey, I'm not going to turn it in. F them. I'm like, well,
okay.
It's 18 months per magazine.
I figured this out. If I moved from Massachusetts with my magazines that have more than 10 rounds, I want to say I figured out it would be 24 years.
Yeah, I would do the maths, and I had to get rid of about 25 mags of different calibers and everything, including to my CZ75s, which are $45 a piece.
Ugh.
Yeah, that hurt.
That sucks.
Like for 4 magazines, I can buy a new gun for that money.
No kid.
And now I have to find someone who makes original CZ75 magazines that hold 10 rounds.
10 rounds.
That's ridiculous.
Completely ridiculous. Well, I live in Massachusetts. We've had the 10-round ban since 1994. It was permanently adopted by one of our previous governors in '98, and yeah, it sucks. It's ridiculous. This is what's really weird. I can have a pre-94 high cap magazine, but I cannot have a post-94 high cap magazine. And I'm a good little doobie. When I became an instructor, I may have had a during the ban magazine, and I got rid of it. I gave it a proper burial. I took it down to the garage. I took it apart, took it down to the garage with a hammer and a beer, smashed it, pounded the beer, and threw everything in the garbage. Man.
Doing what I do, having sat in front of the legislator and called them a bunch of racist, I have to make sure that all my I's are dotted and my T's are crossed.
Right.
So Rob Pincus reached out to me for an article for his organization. Was it 2A.org, I think?
2A.
And I said comply with the rules if you're going to be here in Jersey.
Right.
Now, I've heard a lot of people push back on Rob saying he told people to comply. You can't tell people what to do. Okay, how's this? Do what you want and live with the consequences.
Bam.
All right. So I apologize if anybody was offended. But also, a lot of people on the internet were talking about, well, our brothers and sisters. I'm like, your brothers and sisters did not vote. Your brothers and sisters did not vote at all. 70% of them stayed home. We have 1.3 million firearms ID cards out there. That's one per person. Most of them live in Jersey.
Yeah.
They could have overwhelmingly voted as a bloc and scared the bejesus out of every anti-gun politician in the state.
Yeah.
They stayed home.
There you go.
So, don't cry for me telling me the system doesn't work if you didn't participate.
Exactly.
You have to be active in your politics. You have to be educated. Join your local state organizations. In Jersey is ANJRPC and CNJFO. These are two of the ones fighting for our rights and actually have the lawsuit going to the Third Circuit against the magazine ban again. But we're doing it with the entire Third Circuit this time. That takes money.
Right.
Please donate to these organizations and help them fight for the rights that most of your friends that own guns didn't vote for. Get out and vote. Your vote makes a difference.
All right, so you don't have to answer this.
Sure.
What did you do with your magazines? Did you?
They're living outside of in Pennsylvania in a very nice home. My partner.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because it's not illegal to give them to someone else in a free state, and I hate to say Pennsylvania's a free state because I know it's becoming less so. But you can give them to someone in a state where it's legal for them to have them, and then get them back, later on down the road.
Yeah, it's ridiculous because again, my CZs are the original CZs,
right?
So they don't make those magazines like that anymore. And I'm talking like 1990 is my youngest one. My youngest one, and then
my youngest one,
92. So these were Israeli CZ75s used by the police in Jerusalem.
Wow.
And their trade-ins, and they were awesome. I love surplus. My thing is surplus.
Yeah.
For two reasons. One, the history behind it, and two, I'm cheap. Or
I'd say frugal.
Tactically thrifty.
Tactically thrifty.
Tactically thrifty.
I love that. I say I'm a cheap bastard.
Yeah.
And I say, well, I mean frugal.
Everybody knows. And that's what, when they donate money to the diversity shoot, they were like, Tony, I saw you purchased, like I just purchased some Surefire keychain lights.
Yeah.
And I purchased like 8 of them. But you didn't give them all away. No, I give many of them away. I pass them out as time goes, especially if you donate stuff to us. I don't know when someone else is going to donate anything, so I hold on to stuff. So if you get a patch that wasn't made in 3 years, that's because Tony kept it. And now you have an awesome patch that you could probably sell for a lot of money to someone that cares about patches.
Right.
I live in Jersey. Other than this shirt, you don't see anything on me. I'm gray man. I'm gray man, black man. I just don't need that problem. I don't need, can we search your vehicle? No. You can't search my vehicle, you can't search my home. Because even in Jersey, a loose hollow point round will get you locked up.
Yeah, that's what happened with Brian Aiken.
Yeah.
All right, we got to find a way to turn around here.
Yeah, no problem.
Because I think we're already past where we came from.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Just ease your way eventually over to the right-hand lane.
No, I'm from Massachusetts. We wait until about 1/10 of a mile and then cut over 4 lanes and flip her doing the bird.
Oh, yeah. Like Mario and Andretti.
Right.
Yeah, just take your time, ease over.
Right, because you guys can't make left-hand turns on these roads. This is like 12 lanes.
Oh, believe me. No, take your time.
We're good. We got time. We got space.
I just remember learning to drive here, coming from Virginia. Oh, this whole area used to get me all verklempt. Nope, you're going straight.
Straight?
Yeah, you just keep going straight. The signs up here, all turns.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I thought did we already pass?
Oh, okay.
No, or is the mall up here?
No, the mall's back there.
That's it. All right. So where do we turn?
You're going to slide over to the right lane after this dude turns. All right, cool. Boom. You're going to go past the light, and it's going to loop around, and we're going to be right here at this light.
Gotcha. This is so freaking confusing.
Oh, dude, I was totally crap scared.
Like, where do you turn? That's why my...
What do I do? Oh, you got to go. Okay. Dude.
So in order to go left, you have to take a right.
Every time. Now you know why our politics are so screwed up. And you ain't seen a traffic circle yet.
Oh, God.
We've gotten rid of most of them, but yeah, traffic circle pretty much is really, really confusing.
In one of the towns near me, there's it's called Kelly Square. It's in Worcester. And it is It's a 5-corner intersection, and really, you're taking your life in your hands every single time. My son made it through. He's like, Dad, I drove through Kelly Square. I didn't even know it.
Nice.
I'm like, good. Did you look at anyone? He's like, nope. I said, that's the deal. You can't look at people. You just go.
Oh, now here's a real fun part. You're going to have to cross over and get in the left.
Oh. All right, well, it's not going to be so bad.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so what else can we talk? We only got a couple minutes left.
Well, you can always do the how do you reach me kind of thing.
Yes, I was going to say, I was going to wait till we get a little closer to the end. But,
that's what
But how do people find you and all of your stuff? I guess this will take a couple of minutes.
Yes, it will. It is crazy. I'll go ahead and say it wasn't on purpose I did any of this. All of this stuff grew organically, and believe me, none of it grew from me trying to make money at it, because I don't. But you can reach me at Simon Says Train on Facebook. Second is for Everyone on Facebook. Simon Says Train on Instagram. And Simon Says Train on YouTube. You can donate to us at The Second is for Everyone on GoFundMe.
Yep.
You can also donate to the Second is for Everyone podcast on Patreon. Our Patreon, we're going to have really cool raffle stuff. Car Arms donated 3 Car Arms versions of the Delica 4. Car Arms has their own Delica 4.
Okay.
We got that in. I got Dan from New Jersey Concealment Furniture to actually laser engrave our cool logo on it.
Wow.
With its own serial number.
Oh, that's
So
totally
if you donate at $5 or above, we're going to draw a name out, and that person is going to win their own serialized 2A4E Car Arms Limited Edition.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
For $5, folks. $5.
$5 a month, and these guys are really helping because I have the world's oldest iPad. Yeah. Like right after Moses came off the mountain.
Right.
I got that one.
Either the tablet's either the newest thing or the oldest thing.
Oh, dude, no, keep going straight.
All right.
It's cracked and beat up, and it's barely hanging on, but that money from you guys will help pay for it so we can do the different podcasts that I do.
That's awesome.
And that really helps. I think I have a PayPal too, but I can't remember. I might be Simon Says Training. Simon Says Training. Or Simon Says Training. That's me.
It's to me, it's cool. I've noticed this with myself. Like, I started off as personal shooting instruction, and then personal shooting instruction became Charlie's Gungrams, and then Charlie's Gungram became Riding Shotgun with Charlie.
It's crazy, right?
So, yeah, it is. Because you're like, this is it. I'm going to go with personal shooting instruction. I make videos playing the trumpet, shooting a gun. I'm going with Charlie's Gungrams.
Like with Minuteman Challenge. The Minuteman Challenge didn't come about because I was like, we need to come up with a competition. It was, let's get people shooting more. We have classes and people go, yeah, I really, shoot like once a year. And
right.
I'm like, no, let's come out and have fun. So I contacted RE Factor Tactical, and they sent their targets out, and they sent their Dead Man's Hand training cards. And there was 4 guys' guns on YouTube, and they used to shoot these drills every week. 2 guys, Matt DeVito and John Patton from, John Patton from the Gun Collective. They'd shoot against each other or something. No, not John Patton. Whitey, 4 guys' guns, and Matt DeVito. And they would shoot, and it was great. It looked like fun. So I was like, I'm stealing that.
That's cool.
No, I actually went to NRA, ran into Whitey, who's a friend of mine, and says, hey, I'm going to steal your entire idea blatantly. And he was like, go ahead.
Rocker.
I have video of that, which is hilarious.
That's cool.
So we did that just as an introductory, bring your gun to this. And we have different ones. And the way we call it Minuteman is at the last minute we tell you what gun to use. So we have one coming up in let's say we have one coming up in April.
Okay.
All right, this is the date. All right, 3-4 days before we'll tell you what gun. And people are like, well, no, we have the gun already. If you have a 10-22, you can bring your, if it's a rimfire.
Oh, gotcha.
Bring your rimfire.
Otherwise, just bring ammo?
Just show up. Yeah, bring ammo if you want, or we'll just charge you for our ammo there. Again, we're not trying to make money off of you.
Right.
We want to get you to the range and get you shooting.
That, I got to tell you, that's what I love about everything. Because I've talked to people about you, and I said I was coming down to meet you and have you ride shotgun. And I said, so Tony Simon does a diversity shooting. He doesn't care what your race is, what your sex is, what your religion is, what your politics are. He's like, you know what? You like shooting, I like shooting, let's shoot.
Yep.
And that is, that's great.
Straight across.
Okay. And I said, that's great. That is very, very cool. There's no IPA stuff. There's none of that crap.
It's like we tell you 3 magazines, 200 rounds. So sometimes we deal with pistols, sometimes we deal with ARs.
Yeah.
We did a mechanical, so we had bolt actions and lever actions out, and we just had fun with it. And guys buy guns based on the competition. We had a guy stop and buy a 1022 to come down
on the way.
We had a guy buy a high point carbine for our PCC match. He bought a 45 caliber high point. I tell companies all the time, this is Jersey. People have more money than some places in the country, and they are willing to spend it. So yeah, Henry has donated Henry rifles to us.
I can't believe that.
Henry's donated rifles to us. We've used it, and people have purchased Henry rifles because they've shot them at our event and went, this is really nice. High Point donated 3 carbines to us this year.
That's awesome.
One of them will be given away as a prize at the Minuteman Challenge Chip Holder Championship at the end of 2019.
That's a mouthful.
You know it, isn't it?
It totally is.
Oh, you know how many times it took me to get that right? My partner Sean made up the name. He was like, Minuteman Challenge Chip Holder Championship. I was like, the Nacho Man, what?
Isn't there something else we can call it?
Can't we do this smaller? But it's funny because that's an inside joke. And you can hear those inside jokes on the Second Is For Everyone podcast, found on YouTube at Simon Says Train, and also found on all your favorite podcast apps.
All right, very cool. Tony, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being on Riding Shotgun. Thanks for hopping in the passenger seat. Folks, you guys can check out all of the Tony Simon stuff. I'm going to put links to all this stuff. Remember to check out all of your favorite... I can't say favorite righteous podcast, but that's not it. It's all of your pro-freedom podcasts in one place. That's the Self-Defense Radio Network, where you can find Tony Simon on this Self-Defense Gun Stories with Rob Morris, and you can find all sorts of other cool stuff. Paul Lathrop's on there with the Polite Society podcast, as well as everything else that is pro-freedom related. And we will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.